Okay, hello. Just in case you're setting up, I'll write a little hello, little reminder that you need to put the sound on. Hopefully you can hear me. So once this is all kind of working, we'll try and get going. So, if everything's gone according to plan, you should have, I think, Ms. Blake there looking after you today. I'm away on a course, so what I want to do is try and move things forward and teach you a little bit about solving equations that involve brackets. So that's going to be your title today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this, if I can. Good, it's gone. So your title is Solving Equations with Brackets. Okay, so there it is. Can you also put that we're doing classwork? I'll do that not quite as neat, classwork. And today's date, which is the 18th of March. 18th of the 3rd. It's so untidy. 15. Okay, so here we go. Reason I decided to do this on a video is because actually the processes are quite straightforward. This isn't going to take too long for you guys to get the idea. What I really want to just make sure that you're doing is that you're using the correct notation, just like last lesson, but there is just one more step that you need to make. So let's just go through a little example. What you might get for a question might be something like this: 4, and then a bracket, 3x minus 1, close the brackets, equals 8. Okay, so we need to undo this equation. We need to reduce it to get a single x on its own, so we know the value of that x. So what do we need to do? Well, if we look at this left-hand side here, what we've got is this 3x minus 1 is in the bracket, and it's all being multiplied by this 4. So, in order to undo that, what I need to do is multiply the two different terms inside the bracket by that multiplier, that thing, if you like, that number outside. What I like to do, just to remind myself, is I put a 4 and I put a little arrow going to the 3x, reminds me to multiply 4 with 3x, and a little arrow as well from the 4 to that 1. Okay, so now you need to know your algebra quite well. What is, then, my first question for this first arrow, what is 4 times 3x? Well, hopefully you're all thinking in your head, we do 4 times 3, which we know is 12, and the x is there as well. So 4 times 3x is 12x. Okay, now, we've got 4 times by, well, it's 1, but we can think of this as a minus 1, because it's got that minus in front of it. 4 lots of minus 1, very good, I can hear you all shouting out, minus 4, that equals 8. Okay, now this equation that we've just created looks very similar to what we had last lesson. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this down a little bit. Okay, remember we treat equations like seesaws, and that central point of the seesaw is here. We do the same thing to both sides, so that we reduce it to having a single x. So I've got a minus 4 here, and to the opposite of minusing 4, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I add 4 to both sides, it's still equal. So 12x minus 4 plus 4, well, minus 4 plus 4 disappears. So I'm left with just 12x on this left-hand side. And that equals, well, I can work down, what's 8 plus 4? Very good, 12. And then just to finish it off, I want to know what 1x is, not 12x is. So the opposite of multiplying by 12 is to divide by 12. That just reduces it to a single x, and this one's quite nice actually, because 12 divided by 12 is 1, and there's our answer. So hopefully the mechanics of the second half of that question is something that you will have seen before. Last lesson, what we did, all of this onwards we did last lesson. The only extra step is you've got this little bracket here to start with that you need to expand out. And remember what we're doing in terms of communicating what we're doing to both sides, we spot what's happening here in the equation and we do the opposite. So we were subtracting 4, so we add 4. That gets rid of it. What's happening here is that 12 is multiplied by x, so we divide by 12 to reduce it to just a single x, and that should leave us with our value. Okay, so 5 minutes that video has been so far. What I want you to have a go at is exercise 4. On page 130. Exercise 4, page 130. And see how you go.